This travel documentary will not only show you the beauty of this East African country, but also show you a perfectly curated itinerary from my journey traveling through the west to the south to the east and the north of Tanzania. Appreciate it if you subscribe to the channel, and please give this video a like. Before we proceed, I created a travel guide to assist you in curating an exciting itinerary through Tanzania like I did. Whether you got 7 days or 15 days or even 1 month to explore Tanzania, in this travel guide you'd find a list of activities to do, where you can book them, accommodation options, where and when to visit what. If you're a solo and budget traveler like me without a fat wallet to pay for tour operators, this travel guide would help you navigate this destination. Purchasing this guide also contributes to funding this channel and empower us to make awesome videos just like this one for you. To download the travel guide, look at the description section of this video. So my trip starts off at Salaam, where I landed. It is the capital city of Tanzania with a growing population of at least 6 million, majority of which are Muslims. Just got a SIM card. Actually, it's free, but I had to buy like 10 gigabytes, which is around 20,000 Tanzania shillings. First thing I usually would like to do is get myself a SIM card, since I'm going to be here for a while and I can have internet when I am not in the hotel or close by where I have access to Wi-Fi. My first visit would be to the Makumbushi village to learn about the different tribes in Tanzania, how they live and also practice their traditional dance.
So we are at Makumbushi village right here at Salaam. This is where you can know the culture, the art of Tanzanian.
You can see what they're trying to do right now. Yeah. So they're putting it in the fire so that the drum, it can be really thick and it sounds nice. Make a high sound. I spent the rest of the day driving through the city on the famous Tanzanite bridge in a vintage car that was customized by a local entrepreneur here in Dar es Salaam.
This all started when I was still very young.
What's the average cost of like revamping a car?
First depends on the nature of the vehicle. Generally, for just normal VW Beetle, if you really want to revamp it, not less than 10,000.
He's also facilitating tourism. You can see he's like converting cruisers into safari trucks, and this like a tour bus right here like that can do city tours as well. It's very interesting to see how a local entrepreneur is turning its passion and also contributing to the tourism earnings of Tanzania. Dar es Salaam doesn't really offer so much for tourists. I would suggest you spend just a night or two here and head to Zanzibar. It is famous for pristine white sandy beaches and turquoise blue waters all around the island and luxurious accommodation. It is the most famous region in all of Tanzania, just 30 kilometers offshore the northeast of Dar es Salaam. You could either fly here or use the ferry, but since I just came off a long-ass flight, I wanted to experience another means of transportation, so I opted in for the ferry to Zanzibar. Got the tickets. It's really nice. We have our own cabin right here. They're like 4 seats, our own views. We can control our own cooling system. Different experience. I was welcomed by a chaotic setting, but it only gets better from here. I stay in Hotel Verde, the biggest hotel you would find in and around Zanzibar. It's just 10 minutes from Stone Town. I'd suggest you spend 2 nights here in Stone Town, and these are the number of activities you can do whilst you're here. The first item on my bucket list was to visit the popular Nakupenda Island. So we're at Makupenda, it's like an island inside the island. On getting here, you'd first need to hire a locally made boat. Embarking on this boat is another exciting experience of its own. The boat fare costs anywhere between $30 to $50 US. It took us 20 minutes to get here from Stone Town. The closer you get, the more the water gets crystal clear and transparent.
It's like a piece of land in the middle of the ocean.
Yeah.
When the tides are completely high, and sometimes in the month, this is completely covered.
Wow.
So and when the tides are low, then you have this beautiful sandbank and a beach here which people can come and enjoy. And sometimes they come here, they make food. Some people come here just to relax. There is a reef just close to here where people could snorkel.
Yeah.
So it just depends. Sometimes people have weddings, they would come here for that. They would come here for sunsets.
Alright.
You can come here for basically anything that you want. Like if you want anything like around the beach area, you can come here for that.
Nakupenda in English means I love you. It is undeniably a magical place with one of the world's gorgeous sandbanks that appears during low tides.
This is, I would say, the best beach option from Stone Town.
Yeah.
The closest one. And therefore people just grab a boat, 20 minutes, they're here.
On our way back to Stone Town, we checked out the famous Prison Island.
So the island is called Prison Island. It was erected in 1893, meant to be used as a prison, but it was never used as a prison. So the name before Prison Island, it was called Changu Island. Oh. And Changu is a type of fish. So when the idea of the prison came, then the name changed from Changu Island to Prison Island, and that's why everybody calls it Prison Island now. So inside, the main thing nowadays to see are the tortoises, and there is a part behind which was meant to be used as a prison, but it was never used, which is also possible to see.
Home to some of the world's largest tortoises. I got to learn about these giant creatures and of course took a photo with them.
They are the second biggest tortoises in the world after the Galapagos. They're called Aldabra. Originally they came from the Seychelles.
Oh,
before they used to be in Stone Town, their growth rate was very low. They decided to move them here, and now they like most people come here for them.
So we actually came at a time where they're mating. So I don't know why they're making funny sounds. They like it when you rub their neck this way. Damn, look at this foot. You'll find birds and other creatures here that balance the ecosystem. Whilst you're here, you can do a mini tour of the Prison Island. I made it back to Stone Town to learn about the history of the World Heritage Site here in Zanzibar.
For a place to be a World Heritage Site, it must have an outstanding universal value. So there are three main things that made Stone Town a World Heritage Site. Wow. The first thing is the manifestation of cultural fusion, interaction and interchange that can still be seen in the cultural tradition and civilization of the people. That people from different parts of the world were able to come together, live in a single community, not only that, but in peace and harmony. Each and everyone who came here came with their own architectural tradition, integrated to create a unique cosmopolitan architecture. Yeah. And the last thing is the slave trade history. Yeah. So Stone Town of Zanzibar bears a great symbolic in abolishment of slave trade, which had the biggest slave market in East Africa and the last open slave market in the world. And those are the main things that actually made it qualified to be listed as a World Heritage Site. So basically the town is called Stone Town because of the material used in construction, which are the coral stones like the ones you see here. So all the buildings in the town are made of this material, and that's why the town is called Stone Town.
The heart of Stone Town mostly consists of maze and narrow alley lined up by houses, shops, bazaar and mosques. Most of the streets are too narrow for cars. The town is crowded with bicycle and motorbikes. Why are the roads too small?
So when you look at Stone Town, it's like the town has no plan. It looks like zigzag. Yeah. But they made the tall buildings to enable shade on the streets and the houses close together so that the breeze from the sea when it comes to the town to circulate for a long time. Yeah. So whenever you're in the small streets, it's cooler than when you're outside the small streets. I mean, you can feel it as well. Yeah. When you left there, like it's very hot, but now it's like you're not complaining, right?
Right.
And these doors are very famous in Zanzibar as well.
If you're walking around Stone Town, you're going to find doors with, what are these supposed to be?
These spikes.
Spikes.
Before they were sharper, I mean, they had sharper spikes. The spikes were mainly used in India as a defense against elephants. In India, they had a war where people rode elephants to break the doors. Yeah. And they thought if they had spikes sharper than these, the elephants would not be able to hit the doors. But since Zanzibar has never had elephants, the spikes were just introduced here as a decoration and to symbolize the wealth of the house owner. So that's why you see many of the doors with spikes in different kind of styles.
Stone Town architecture has a number of distinctive features. It is a very beautiful place to be in with so much to do and see. You can watch the boats at the ocean at sunset. If you have some time on your hand, you can watch a local guy jump off from the wall into the water with different stunts during the evening and high tide period. It is very amusing. If you're lucky enough, they would make a whole show program for you. As the day was gradually coming to an end, I decided to check out the Forodhani Garden, where you would find some of Zanzibar's street food and the popular Zanzibar pizza, which was more delicious than I thought.
The name Forodhani comes from a Swahili word, so Forodha meaning customs, and when you say Forodhani, it's like the place of the customs. So this whole garden wasn't there before. So this all used to be covered by water.
Okay. You're welcome. Zanzibar pizza, we have a sweet pizza, we have savory. And the Zanzibar pizza, basic, we mix the beef, onion, pepper, carrot, cheese, tomato, mayo, and 1 egg and avocado. The Zanzibar pizza. Small, but it's very, very yummy. You're welcome.
Zanzibar pizza, $2 it is. Okay.
That's new.
Go It's entering, eh? It's touching all corners of my taste bud. So I ate a lot of things here and only spent like $10. Super affordable. It was then time for me to head south of Zanzibar. On arriving here, I stayed at the Lumesian Resort, the most affordable and very popular resort in this region. And this is where I'm going to be spending the next 2 days here at Lumesian. It's one of the nicest right here in the southeast Zanzibar. So if you travel, off-peak season, you get better rates, but I paid $147 per night for this. If you got a little bit more budget, you can check out the Konokono Beach House and the Isaraya Overwater Villas, or the Xanadu, which can cost up to $9,000 per night. I would link to the video tour of some of the nicest resorts in and around Zanzibar, so you see what they offer and their price point. It was then time for me to have lunch, and in no other place than the iconic restaurant on the Rock. Guys, so I had to drive all the way to Michambi to have lunch at the Rock restaurant. It's quite a very popular restaurant. Its unique position in and on the waters of the Indian Ocean makes it stand out.
It's popular because of its location, and it's also because when the tides are high, people can take a boat, so it feels like you're having lunch on your own little island.
I tried to find out the cheapest food to eat here, as the food here can run into hundreds of dollars for a proper 3-course meal. Let's see what we got here. My bill is about $33 for chicken square and Coca-Cola. This Rock is a charming exclusive restaurant that in a very short period of time has become one of the icons of this exotic island. The next day, I visited Malum, a unique natural swimming pool.
Malum, it means a special in Kiswahili.
A special place to reconnect with nature, relax and just enjoy. I spent the rest of the day relaxing at the resort and enjoying the breeze from the east coast of Zanzibar. I will recommend you spend at least 3 nights here in the south before you head to the north. The next day I was on the road again, and this time to the most touristy side of the island, the north of Zanzibar. It's filled with world-class resorts and lots of activities and adventures to try out. On arriving here, I stayed at the Zuri Resort, and oh boy, I really loved it here. The Zuri means beautiful in Swahili, and that's exactly the feeling you're going to get in this 12-hectare micro-universe resort located in Kendwa Beach. It is an all-inclusive accommodation built with wood, nice balcony, outdoor shower, cozy bed, and the food here was amazing. The first adventure I did here was snorkeling to see the magical underwater creatures. There are several designated locations in and around Zanzibar you can go snorkeling, but Menemba Island is the most popular for several reasons.
It's one of the beautiful islands in Zanzibar. It's nice for fishes. We see a lot of fish here.
So right now I'm about to go snorkeling.
Alright, I'm about to go in now. I'm about to go in. Let's get it.
Seeing all these colorful fishes living under the sea is breathtaking. I love every bit of this. Look guys, even though you can't swim, you can snorkel. On our way back, I wanted to experience what it's like to swim with the sea turtles. I saw the photos on Instagram and I definitely wanted to try it out myself. There are several locations in Zanzibar where you can spot the sea turtle, but when it comes to swimming with them, there's only one place called the Baraka National Aquarium in Ndukwu Beach. It's one of the most popular spots for sea turtles in Zanzibar.
This is Mnarani Natural Aquarium. Our organization is to prevent the turtles, to increase the number of the sea turtles.
Turtles are known for their curious and playful nature, so when they approach swimmers, they try to say hello sometimes. I need help! So if you're going to do this, get ready for some tickling from the turtles. It was very weird because they keep touching and tickling me. I could not help it but scream most of the time. I spent the next day kayaking here in Kendwa Beach and just enjoying my stay at Zuri. But you can also try out swimming with horses if you're into something like that. I'll suggest you spend another 3 days here to get the full experience of this side of Zanzibar. My trip to Zanzibar finally came to an end, as I'll be heading to the northern region to experience and explore wildlife and incredible landscape, and also get to learn about the famous Maasai tribe. My journey starts at Arusha after I picked up my truck from Pristine Trails. The first place on my itinerary was to visit the Ngorongoro Conservation Area, but before then I was told Arusha has a lot of waterfalls, so I wanted to experience a bit of that. The next day I started off my journey to Ngorongoro Crater, one of the best places in East Africa to see the Big Five and a great way to start your northern Tanzania adventure. The crater was voted as one of the 8 wonders of Africa.
What are we expecting to see today?
More species like zebra, wildebeest, buffalo, some lion.
I hope we're gonna get to see the rhino. Ngorongoro Crater is the home of rhinos.
Rhinos?
Yes. So fingers crossed. One of the things that you're going to experience today is a drastic change of the weather. And once we get there, you will see a lot of fog, which now, surprisingly, on top of the crater, the weather on top of the crater and underneath, and once you go to the crater floor, it is 2 different weather environment.
It took us just below 1 hour to reach the entrance when I spotted a lot of safari trucks that was on the same mission like I was.
So for the price, if you're a foreigner or non-East African, it'll only cost $60 US. That's just an entrance fee. But now if you're going with the safari jeep will cost $250 US. You might be asking yourself, why do we have to pay so much money? To continue conserving the welfare of the ecosystem in the conservation area.
On entering the conservation area, there's a huge altitude difference between the crater floor and the forest, which leads to a substantial fog in the morning. Driving through this road seems like we are entering some kind of lost world. After a couple of hours driving, I was gifted with the first view of the crater, which blew my mind. Although it was foggy, we had to drive to another viewing point that was clearer before deciding to descend. Descending down the 2,000 meter high unique crater floor through the scenic wall of the crater and soaking in the views of the forest was surreal. Ngorongoro Crater is a collapsed volcano that before collapsing it was taller than Kilimanjaro and is now home to 250 wildlife including elephants, lions and rhinos. This is one of the world's insane place to go on a safari. There are so many animals here, and because the crater floor is a wide open plain that allows animal prey to spot their predators from afar.
Zebras are actually very cool animals to observe. You can see most of the zebras here, they are having like a crisscross, like one is facing on the other side, the other one is facing on the other direction. This is actually, they are like soldiers to one another. I got your back, you got my back.
Like a zebra.
You know, because they never know which side or direction a lion or a dangerous animal could be coming from. There's one now playing with the dust.
Yeah.
Basically what that zebra is trying to do is to remove ticks and insects from the body, and the activity is called wallowing. So, you know, it's like sunbathing.
Animals have called this crater floor home for thousands of years and they feel no need to migrate due to the constant flow of water. But not so many animals can descend into the crater floor. That's why you will not find the giraffe here. The breathtaking view and the number of wildlife spotted here was enough to leave me speechless. But I was beginning to imagine what I would see when I get to Serengeti, which happens to be my next stop.
The driver cooked up this nice meal for us.
Yeah, I'm your stomach engineer.
Before I left, a launch setup was made in preparation for the 3 hours dusty ride to the almighty Serengeti. A huge bucket list destination for me because it's the world's best safari destination offering wild plains, incredible wildlife viewing and the almighty wildebeest migration. Another 3.5 hours on a bumpy road, usually referred to as the African massage.
So we made it to Serengeti. Alright, you can see Serengeti National Park. Let's go see the Big Five.
We arrived at the gates of Serengeti. The first thing you would notice is the endless plains, and that's what Serengeti means in the Maasai language. 14,000 square kilometers of African savanna shared between Tanzania and Kenya. Driving through the Serengeti during sunset was magical. There was this natural glow that spread through the vast landscape, and it was the most beautiful thing I have ever seen. The day was coming together and I made it just in time to my campsite. I stayed at the Nyota luxury camp. You can find more details in my travel guide. After this weird but fun room tour, we gathered at the restaurant for dinner. It was a very nice meal and a great way to end the day in preparation for the eventful game drive the next day.
Alright guys, so it's a very beautiful day here in the Serengeti. We're heading for our very first game drive here. So I noticed here in our safari truck there's a radio, and it's in every safari truck. So I was just curious,
because most times they speak and communicate in Swahili, so I'm like, I can't hear what you guys are saying. So why do you have a radio here in the safari truck?
Yeah, we use this communication. Sometimes, you know, we get stuck, we get anything, emergency.
Yeah.
So we use this for communication to other driver to get help, you know. And sometimes we use this to get even location because the park is huge, you know. 14,000 square kilometer. Finding the animal sometimes come very difficult.
I never knew giraffes don't lay down to sleep like other animals.
So it is said if the giraffe would lay down, their heartbeat, because it's so huge, the pressure of blood pumping is so huge, it might even blow out their brains.
So they don't sleep.
They don't sleep.
So we have a lion just lying right here. From the look of it, I think it probably ate last night, and because the stomach is big, right? So you know, you're going to notice we haven't seen any female lion, the lioness, taking naps, because I assume they are going out to hunt, and then the males just take care of the territory, right? Well, we can't even find the cubs. They're probably hidden somewhere. But yo, this this lion is really huge, huh? Look at the claws.
The moment right now,
the
female peed, but then the male is kind of smelling on the pee.
Why is that?
So the male is trying to understand if the female
if she's what?
She's in her moment of mating. So in wildlife photography,
So finally, I almost gave up on seeing the elephant, the family of elephant. They are like what? Almost 20 numbers, right?
So many.
There's so many, right? Look at this. Just look at this, guys. Beautiful. A very calm but yet aggressive animal. You don't want to toy with with an elephant. At least this one's, all their tops is complete.
You see this impala?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is harem.
What is harem?
Harem, it contains one male, many female and young.
So these are, we call them the McDonald's of the wild.
Everybody them.
Yeah, the lions eat them, the leopards eat them, you know, the babies are eaten by cheetahs. So yeah, they should be tasty, just like McDonald's. So you see all these females, they're owned by one male. And if you take a closer look, the male will go eat and then will come and, you know, like, let's go, baby. You know, make sure that he leaves no female behind, because he owns all of this.
All the females?
All the females. Polygamy.
Viewing wildlife inside the safari truck is a bit limiting, and since a bucket list item here in Serengeti was to go on a balloon ride, I booked a flight with the Serengeti Balloon Safari to experience sunrise from the Serengeti and also spot the wildlife from on top. Alright, so today we're going to experience the balloon safari right here in the Serengeti. It requires that you wake up early because they have to come pick you up by 5, so I was up by 4 and now we're ready. It's almost 5, so I have to go meet them up, and then we're going to drive for an hour to the launch site, and then we're going to take off by 6. Alright, so we're just getting set right now. Just had some ginger coffee, and they're doing checks on the balloons to make sure it's good to go. So in a couple of minutes we'll be boarding and hitting the sky just right when the sun is about to rise.
And I'm going to be your captain this morning. For those who have been in balloon before, you will notice somewhere else around the world they inflate the balloon, they stand it up, then they call their passengers in. But in Serengeti, we preload our passengers in astronaut's position while the basket is still lying on its side.
Alright, I think we're up. Alright, we're in the air. So I can spot some buffaloes down there. So we're trying to see if we can go as close as possible so we can get the shot. And yeah, it's I'm just at the extreme end, so I'm getting most of the views here. Buffaloes over here. So right there are hippos just right here.
We have flown so high and so well that nature has joined us in laughter and set us back again into the loving arms of Mother Earth. So instead of saying cheers or sante or prost here in Tanzania, and repeat after me, we'd like to say Maisha Marefu.
Marefu.
And Maisha Marefu, long life.
Let's go.
To 1 million views.
After the flight, we had bush breakfast, which was a perfect way to end my adventure here in the Serengeti. I've never been so up close to wildlife before. There's something very special about seeing animals in their natural habitat. It's a very unique experience and I will just stare at them forever. It's so fascinating. Going on this trip has not only allowed me to see the big five close enough, but I got to learn about the ways these animals behave. Something you would never learn until you visit. On our way back from this trip of a lifetime, we passed through the Great Rift Valley into the Lake Natron area. This area is home to Doyin Lengai, the only active volcano that erupts a black substance called carbonatite. In my previous video, I did a 7 hours hike to the top of this mountain and saw for the first time an active volcano. This was sort of the highlight of my entire trip to northern Tanzania. You should go watch that episode if you haven't seen it yet. But what really brought me here is the unique yet dangerous lake found in this region called Lake Natron. Researchers found out this lake is one of the most dangerous in the world. Since the lake is mirror-like and attractive, it lures birds to take a dive and then immediately turns them to stone, like you can see in these pictures. Lake Natron over the years has become a major tourist attraction. It is the only regular breeding area for the African laser flamingos. Despite different creatures dying here, only the flamingo can thrive here because of their tough skin and scaly legs, which prevents burns. They filter salt water with a special glands in their nasal cavity. This makes Lake Natron a perfect place to spot pink flamingos in their thousands. I stayed at the Lake Natron campsite and this is the closest you can get to Lake Natron. I loved every bit of this experience I was getting here. After traveling through Tanzania, my childhood dream has come through and I hope it was motivating for you to plan a trip here. I'll be back to hike the Kilimanjaro, which is something you can do. It is Africa's highest mountain and sometimes takes up to 4 days to get to the top. I'm going to be back sometime in June this year to do that and I will surely vlog the experience here on the channel for you guys to see. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please go ahead and download the Tanzania Travel Guide if you want to visit this area and need a PDF that would show you the accommodations, the activities to do, a recommended tour guide and all of these details so that you can cut down your travel expense and also support the channel and encourage us to make more videos. Until the next video, I'll see you guys soon.